And those are some of your headlines. Here's Asya with an in-depth look at the ASEAN meeting in California.
Yep, Elaine, thank you so much. And more on that, the U.S.-ASEAN summit has closed with a call for peace and stability. The communique did not mention the South China Sea directly, but host U.S. President Barack Obama did. CCTV's Jessica Stone joins us from the summit in California. Jessica, what exactly did Obama say?
Well, he took a much stronger tact, frankly, Asya, than the joint statement that was issued almost simultaneously did. And what we learned as we looked through the language is that there's really just one area where there appears to be some new language in the joint statement, and that is in the area of non-militarization in a maritime context. Even though the South China Sea isn't specifically mentioned, that seems to be what it's applying to. And this is the first time we have seen this new language in a U.S.-ASEAN statement. As the U.S.-ASEAN summit came to a close Tuesday, Washington was still pressing 10 Southeast Asian nations to show stronger support for freedom of navigation in the disputed South China Sea.
I hope so. Should be.
Just 2.5 weeks ago, the U.S. sent a warship through territorial waters claimed by China, the region of Taiwan and Vietnam. Beijing says it seeks stability in these waters, but also wants to protect what it believes is its sovereignty.
China's deployment of necessary homeland defense facilities on its own territory is designed to exercise the rights of self-preservation and self-defense endowed by international law. This will not affect other countries' freedom of navigation and flight over the South China Sea.
None of the nations that lay claim to the islands has prevented ships from passing. Nonetheless, Washington is worried about that possibility, as U.S. President Barack Obama outlined at the end of the summit.
Freedom of navigation must be upheld, and lawful commerce should not be impeded. I reiterated that the United States will continue to fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, and we will support the right of all countries to do the same.
But in order for ASEAN to agree to any statement, all 10 nations must agree. Only 4 have claims in the South China Sea. While the U.S.-ASEAN summit joint statement reaffirms current U.S.-ASEAN policy in the region, it only adds one new commitment to non-militarization.
Because of the ASEAN tradition, I think it will not be happen as like what the United States wants, not a strong or message.
Because it's not the ASEAN way?
Yes, it's not the ASEAN way.
Because there's not enough consensus behind that?
Yes.
Earlier this month, 4 ASEAN members signed on to the U.S.-led Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement, leaving 6 who are not part of the deal. During the summit, the White House also announced it will set up training workshops to help educate them on what's required. The training is open to any other nation that wants to join as well, including China and the Republic of Korea.
It's meant to be that countries that can live up to the high standards of this agreement should have an opportunity to join the agreement eventually.
Asya, what was so striking about that end of summit press conference is there was just one person speaking, U.S. President Barack Obama. No ASEAN leaders were permitted to speak at that press conference. We had no opportunity to speak with them in other contexts. And so what you really have here is a summit that has been very much dominated in its messaging by the U.S. government.
CCTV's Jessica Stone live for us in Rancho Mirage, California.